I think, we left off at kind of a high point, and I think uh, that, you know, Xenaeus is going to be um, imprisoned for maybe not, maybe a day or two, right uh, before any kind of decision is made. Um, Probably not even 2 days. So, Hesperos arrived on his sky bull, kind of threw her down. Um, Obviously had, already kind of made his decision that she was responsible for Diocles' disappearance. Uh, but he's not the only person who's involved in this decision making. So she will be locked up, um, probably in somebody's house. Uh, they don't have like a jail or anything. So like, or maybe just like a shed, and then word will go around town that the next day there's going to be, kind of a council gathering to discuss, what to discuss what is to be done. Um, so you both, have made it back safely. You have some leisure time, this evening, the next morning, the next afternoon. What do you think you're going to be doing with it? Um, Ajax, want to start with you?
Sure. Um, well, what's his name? Nikon.
Hmm.
I got Nikon on the brain.
Yeah.
Slapped the shit out of me. I think Ajax might want to try and repair that relationship
Oh wow. Yeah.
a little bit. Do some damage control. Ajax said the wrong thing. So, yeah, if there's an opening, I think Ajax wants to go to the temple or
Hmm.
whatever
Yeah.
um, Nikon is, and maybe um, have a conversation, maybe conceive those earrings as a kind of
Oh wow. Yeah.
talk and
Oh,
smooth
okay.
things out.
Okay. Nice. Um, so the temple complex is it's the same height as the other buildings, but it's on a higher ground, so that's why it kind of stands out. But when we think, when you hear temple, you might think like this big, tall, kind of soaring building. No, this one's like the others. It's pretty squat. It's built halfway into the ground. It's all stone, and I mean probably pretty beautifully like carved. Um, so you're gonna see motifs on the walls of the Earth rune, that square, the Harmony rune, those three vertical lines that are kind of the patron runes of your culture. Um, and probably some very stylized and idealized, anthropoi who are flanking, the gate into the temple. They're in stone, um, and it's a couple of buildings. So part of it is actually like a stables for bulls. They're not all sky bulls. There's at least one sky bull in there. But there's like kind of an area that's used for processing the sacrifices. Uh, Another building that's the priest's quarters. That's his house. And then the main complex that is divided. So the front half is kind of public, so people can go in there and worship. Um, there can be smaller worship ceremonies And then, the back half is kind of screened off. There's more sacred things. And then, the real Holy of Holies is in the labyrinth. It's like deep under the temple in the ground, which uh, you've been to the Holy of Holies, or sorry, the kind of second level, but you have not been to the labyrinth. Um, and
Can
yeah,
I just
let's,
cut in?
yeah,
Just to ask, is the labyrinth? I don't know if it's annoying, but is the
no.
labyrinth made like was that there or was that created by?
Um, I don't I don't know that the story is that it was dug, by Annex.
Right.
Yeah, to kind of test, the initiates.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's a good question. I'll have to think about that. Um, okay, so Nikon is here. And what time do you go?
Hmm. I think I think morning. Is it the next day? Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I think morning. Um, I don't know. I've slept on it. My
Mhm.
leg's feeling a bit better. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. What I'm doing with Nikon is important to me. It's on the brain.
Okay.
So I'm going early.
Well, you know what? If you slept on it, go ahead and make a power times 5.
Hmm.
Ooh.
13 times 5, 65?
Yeah.
Under 42.
Oh, nice. Okay. So the night before, um, you wake up in the middle of the night. Um, you pretty there's this moonlight filtering in. Everything is very kind of ethereal. Everything is kind of lit from within by this moonlight, and not bearing the lead, you pretty rapidly figure out that you're outside of your body. You can see your sleeping body under you, but you have been called. You can feel this kind of magnetic pull to the northwest in the mountains, and uh, it is, I don't think it's not very verbal, but kind of in the, like, if you close your eyes, that rune from the bunker is kind of imprinted on your vision, and that's that that's kind of like calling you.
Uh, well, I mean, I'm outside my body. And am I lucid? Like, can I control
Yeah,
what's the
that's the nice thing about succeeding with the power roll. You kind of have control over the dream. Yeah,
Ooh, do I fly?
if you
Like,
want
what's,
to. Yeah.
uh,
You might need to, because the call is coming from a very very far away, over those mountains.
yeah. Okay, well, it's hard to resist. It's just a dream. It's not like real, but it's real. It's real. Okay. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna see if we can go like through the wall.
Hmm.
That's hallelujah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. First things first. We're going to the rock where we were supposed to meet, where the three of us were
Oh
supposed to
yeah.
meet. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Looking for signs of Diocles. That's on my brain. It's my friend, my
Mhm.
average friend.
Okay, so you're out in the woods. Um,
It's like dark. I haven't. Yeah.
well, everything is kind of this,
Mm,
moonlight. Everything's
right.
silvery.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, we'll say, you don't recognize the constellations,
Oh,
which is a little disorienting. Um, yeah. So what would you? You're now kind of out of your body. Um, I think what you would notice the woods are pretty blank of magical activity. Um, the the main thing that you see kind of wherever you're going, you could see the temple, right? Because that's kind of a center of spiritual activity. So you're kind of always aware of where you are in relation to that. But yeah, the woods, I don't think you see anything really.
I think I'm like focusing because I have this clarity of
Yeah.
like where the temple is. I'm like, I need to remember this so I can like draw on the map, and I'm gonna retrace my steps. Gonna go past Diocles' fishing hole, and just go and keep on checking back to the temple. I've got to remember this.
Nice.
And can I find the hole? Can I find the hole I fell in? I'm
Yeah.
looking for the
Oh,
hole.
absolutely.
Okay. I don't want to fall and
Oh,
find the hole. Um, and peer down into it. Is it being guarded or anything? Did they leave people behind? Well, no, I'm in dream world.
Yeah, and
What's
they
going on?
couldn't find it again after they left.
After.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't.
Yep. It's kind of open, it's open to you. It's this kind of other world,
What's it like to look down into it?
yeah, so um sorry, I'm trying to think about how this would present. Um okay, so there are spirits here.
Hmm.
Um they're wearing very strange very manufactured clothing that looks just weirdly uniform to you. um they are carrying strange devices. um the pole now has kind of a ghostly cap over it, and a ladder going down. Or maybe you don't even see the ladder. You can see them kind of climbing up the air. Just the memory of the ladder.
hmm.
And they're not interacting with each other. They're all um, very echo-like. So they're not talking. They might even occasionally walk through each other. They're just kind of going around holding up these devices, or bringing one back and going back down into the bunker. um and well, and you can also you can see that creature very clearly as well. That same we'll say that that rune has a particular shade of color that you could recognize anywhere because you kind of tune to it slightly. And the way this thing presents is actually as kind of like an exponent of that. It's like a piece of this rune.
Ooh. I'm reluctant to enter. I don't think so curious about everything. Can I see like what can I see of I'm imagining that I'm like down with like my head in the hole.
Yeah.
Can I see like where that sort of vault door was? Is the door still there? Can I see into
Mhm.
that space?
Yeah, the door's still there. Yeah.
Mm.
And like you're probably leaning over, and a ghost like climbs, through your
Right.
face. Oh, like
Yeah.
it's cold.
Hmm. I think that freaks me out. I think being climbed through, I like recoil and I fly back to the stone.
Hmm.
I'm, retracing my steps, even though I know I could be aligned to the temple or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, what?
Given
Oh,
given the
yeah.
recoil, go ahead and make another power times
Okay.
5 roll.
Okay. Success.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you stay out of your body. You're not yanked back. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I'm shaken. I'm shaken. I'm curious, but I'm afraid. I go back to the stone. What does my voice do if I try to call out for Diocles in this state?
Whoa. um, I mean, you can shout, but I think if you're trying to, kind of put out kind of a call, that's probably another power roll.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Success! On a
Oh
roll!
my god.
Okay. Um, okay. Ooh. So you shout, and your your shout kind trembles the leaves on the trees around you, and you just sit down on the rock and wait, and time goes by. You don't know how much, and then you hear some snapping of twigs. Um, you hear and you realize like you haven't heard any like physical sounds, like there have been the breath of animals, and you've seen like the movement of like silver deer have gone by, that are made of moonlight. um but the people who are coming kind of in response to your call are in their bodies, and they're kind of attuned to you, they're following your call, they're on the same wavelength, and so you can hear the twigs snapping under them, the pushing the branches aside, and into the clearing comes a very old, uh, bent and withered man, um, with a big walking stick that he's leaning on, and uh, he he's putting out this again, like some rune energy that you haven't seen before. So his aura uh is again putting out some of this just magical identity that you haven't seen before. And then with him is a huge, pale, naked, uh humanoid figure, um, that reeks. It's this rotting body,
Oh.
and when you look at it, the light in it is just like the tiniest spark. It's kind of moving, stupidly. Um, and then Diocles is with this man, uh, and around his neck is a collar that leads, to the hand of that walking corpse. And
Jesus.
the old man, holds up his hands, and the corpse and Diocles stop, and then he walks toward you, and you can see something, thumping against his thighs, and he's got uh, like four just withered heads that are tied to his belt by their hair. And he can see you. He says, y- y- uh, he says, greetings. I heard your call from my home in the mountains, and I came.
Oh.
Oh, this guy's like a shaman then, I guess, right? Because he can. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think I just succeeded on all these power rolls, but I think like this is overstimulating. And now I'm kind of like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, as soon as I'm like, I can tell I'm like being perceived,
Mhm.
I'm like begging to wake up. Does it work?
It does indeed.
Oh,
Oh, I can snap out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you do.
Okay.
The last I think Diocles recognizes you, right? And so
Yeah.
he's, as you're kind of pulled back, he's shouting. I think he is probably shouting at Ajax, like, tell my dad I'm not dead, and then that thing like kind of yanks on it, and he chokes,
Mm,
so he's cut off.
yeah. Ooh.
And yeah, you wake up, in your bed, probably in a cold sweat.
Yeah. With like deep guilt. I feel like I've abandoned Diocles, but I'm
Oh,
also heeding like the warning about unfamiliar wounds. Like
yeah.
I felt that slap again as I wake up. Like, oh, what a mess. What a mess.
Now, do Eusebius and Ajax sleep in the same room?
Mm.
Probably, right? We
Yeah.
probably don't have individual bedrooms.
No. No.
So Eusebius is like either sleeping next to you in the same like space, but he's like wide awake, and when you wake up, he's like, finally, like, Ajax, you're awake. I can't sleep.
You're awake. Oh, I was gonna shake your ass awake if you weren't.
Oh yeah, Eusebius is worried about the possible death of his mom. So
Yeah, well, I'm like, I saw Diocles. Like, Diocles he's still out there. He's collared. He's being, I don't know what. He's being dragged around by this horrible beast and this old man. This probably sounds insane to you, but just you gotta trust me.
yeah, Eusebius. I think Eusebius is kind of pissed off because he's been up, scared about this, and you're talking about Diocles. He's like, you were Ajax, you were sleeping, like, and you're raving about Diocles. My mom could, you know, who knows what's gonna happen to her, and you're talking about Diocles.
Well, no, I could see us here in the room, but I was also somewhere else. Like my body was sleeping, but I was out there. I went out there. I went to the rock where we were supposed to meet, and I'm like intentionally omitting that I went
Oh
back to the bad place. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm omitting that. I went to the
And I
rock and
like
I
that you.
called for him, and uh he saw me and I saw him, and he told me to tell his dad something. I literally don't remember. Uh, which is fine, which is role playing and real life. Uh, like, please, like, I know you're worried about your mom, but like, maybe this is all one thing. Like, it can't be a coincidence that all this weird stuff is happening at the same time.
Yeah, so when you say the thing about where I went to the rock where we were supposed to meet, Eusebius is like, his face just goes so like dead pale with
Mm,
guilt about it, and then
mm.
he kind of is snapping out of it by the end of what you're saying, and he's like, um he's kind of like shaking his head, and he's like, what do you mean it could all be connected? What?
I I don't know. I just like I have this feeling, and I think I need to talk to Nikon and just tell him what I saw, and hope that
Yeah, and then
he'll trust me.
I think Eusebius is a little slow, and maybe I am too. But he's like, wait, you said you saw you're not you saw Diocles, like, not in, were you dreaming? I mean, if you saw Diocles, we could, if we could find Diocles, everything would be okay. They wouldn't have to, they would know that, what's her name? What's her name?
Zenaius.
Xanaeus wasn't, wasn't, where is Diocles? Where is he? We need to go to him and find him.
There's this old man. He has heads on his belt. He has and this horrible dead thing dragging Diocles around. Like we can't do this ourselves. But I mean, but I'll tell them that I saw Diocles. I'll tell them that like it wasn't Xanaeus. Like she didn't do it. But we can't we can't keep this secret. We need to ask for help.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think Eusebius is like, your spirit did must have left your body. I I believe you, Ajax. Let's yeah, I guess we'd probably I don't know who we'd go to. And I actually want to know, like, do you think Eusebius thinks people would take this seriously? I mean, I don't know how into spirits the more mainstream part of our society is outside of us.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that, life is body and spirit, and when the body dies, the spirit, stays around or goes on, and that there's kind of, a place for them here. But I don't think, I don't think like the spirits are quite as central to the
Right.
Annex cult.
Mm.
So you might, you don't have necessarily like a shared language, right? You can't go and like point to the verse, and say this is what happened. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
do some explaining.
Yeah, I think Eusebius is just saying to Ajax, listen, you said that they were by the rock where we always meet. Like, you don't need to tell them this story about you dreaming it. You could have been wandering there or anything and saw them. Let's
Hmm.
maybe we should say that. I mean, we don't want to sound we we need to do this now though, Ajax. We can't wait. Should we go in there after them ourselves, or should we tell people? Should we tell someone?
Um, I'm gonna say like I don't want to lie to Uncle Eustorgios. I don't want to lie to your dad. Can we bring this to him first, and if he thinks if he thinks what you think, then we'll do it that way. But I don't want to keep this from him. I really trust him.
Okay. Yeah. I think uh yeah, I think Eusebius says fine, fine. Yeah, let's try it. But yeah, let's give it a try. And then Eusebius is going to get, instantly
Yeah, I'm
get
at
him
your
up.
side. No hesitation. Let's wake up father figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's awake as well. He can't sleep.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
get into his room, and he's sharpening his tools, and just doing some things to try to pass the time. And
And we're coming in and Eusebius is like putting on his boots, like as he's
Hmm.
walking in here, like to say like we're about to leave and you're gonna come with us type deal. You know?
I'm still in my bedclothes and, clearly glistening in sweat. Like
Yeah,
I'm
and Eusebius like takes you and he's like, Ajax has something important to tell you, and you need yeah, and then like kind of pushes you.
uh, he says, y- you couldn't sleep either. I see. What is this about, Eusebius? We uh, I assume that you told your cousin. Is this about your mother?
Yeah, Eusebius says, uh Ajax knows where Diocles is. He saw Diocles in a dream.
It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. It was something else. And I tell the story again. I was outside my body. I saw us sleeping, and I saw Diocles just the same. Clearly as I saw us in our beds.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, it is about. I think it is about Antizanaeus also. Like I I think it's all one thing, and we should go to Nikon, but Eusebius thinks we should just go out ourselves, and I I'm scared. I'm scared, Uncle.
Yes.
So you must have told. Did you tell me about how Nikon kind of trashed on you about the the fertility rune that you saw and all
Yeah, I
that?
mean, do I have like marks on me? Like he,
You probably got a bit of a mark. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think Eusebius is like Ajax. Enough of the Nikon's not going to help us. This is up to us to do. I mean, why do you think Nikon would help you when he beat you the last time you saw him?
He hurt me because he knew the danger of this rune, and now I've seen it. They're holding Diocles captive. Nikon was right.
Now this is interesting because you're totally confounding like these two, like they have, and but of course like poor Eusebius doesn't know that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Eustorgios. So wait, slow down. As you both sit down. Uh, he says Eusebius, let Ajax speak, and he had you, tell him everything very slowly, right, and methodically.
and Eusebius
And he
is getting
asks
more and more
details.
angry.
Yeah. You're just like
Tapping your
antsy.
foot, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, yeah,
Yeah.
tapping his foot and furious. Yeah, we
Okay.
gotta
So
go find Diocles.
I mean, yeah. So I think this is probably going to be a charisma versus charisma roll.
Hmm.
Um,
I've still got the earrings. +1
I don't
charisma.
think you get.
No.
You're not wearing them.
I took them out.
And
I was punished.
yeah, you're in your night robes and
Yeah.
you're sweating. This is not.
I just thought I'd try. I want to win. I want to win the game. Okay.
You're holding the earrings in your left hand and like showing him as you talk.
The
Okay.
good news is Eustorgios only has 12 charisma. So
That's what I've got.
Ooh.
okay, so you just want to roll under 50.
54.
Fuck.
uh,
Oh Jesus.
yeah, so I mean, I think he's very kind about it, but he says, look, you've had a very tough couple of days, all of the stress, clearly, you had a night terror, and I really don't, from what you've told me, I don't think that this was a dream from Anax. I don't think this was a vision. Um, like, go to bed and try to get some sleep, right? And you'll feel better tomorrow.
Yeah, so Eusebius is like jumping between them and is like, you don't understand, Ajax connected with the spirit world. This has nothing to do with Anax. And like you can't just, even if it is just a crazy dream, any chance, how could you throw it away?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's made up his mind. Uh, he says, "Look, I understand. That you're both really wound up with this, and I'm sure I'm sure it's Xanias filled your head with with all manner of Parthenoi lore. But this was just a nightmare, and you both like go back to bed. Kind of stop bothering me. You need to go calm down.
Okay. Sort of meta question. You can stop me if not. But I'm imagining, so when I told Eusebius the story, I left out that I went back to the bad place.
Yeah.
And when I retold the story, I told it the same way, but slower.
Yeah.
So I still, like, I've withheld this information, and in this moment of desperation, I'm imagining that maybe I let that spill, hoping it will change Uncle Eustorios' mind. I know the roll already happened. I'm imagining it
No,
probably won't, but I want to break here and be like, there's more, and here it is, and tell the whole thing and see what that does.
and I think that might have created a rise out of Nikon,
Yeah.
but your Eustorgios isn't like the priest,
Yeah.
So again, he could easily, of course you did. That's where you spent, nephew. That's where you spent the whole night.
Mm.
Um, you return there because you broke your leg there. You have painful memories. Your mind is working through what happened to you. Um, really, go to bed. Let your mind finish its work.
I storm out. I mean, I'm going to the bed,
Yeah.
but I'm storming there.
Eusebius calls whatever you call someone when you call them a woman in a demeaning way, and because there's got to be that, right, in our
Mhm.
very very patriarchal centered culture. I call him that, and
Mhm.
then I'm like going to follow Ajax to like force him to come out with me to go try to find Diocles.
And I think I do want to get the reaction shot.
Yeah,
Eustorgius kind of absorbing that, and then he just like sighs. This you've cut him. And he goes back to working on his tools. Like he's gonna remain calm, and he's kind of reminding himself. They're just boys. Like they didn't mean anything by it. They'll feel better in the morning. And he's responding to it probably in the best way possible
yeah,
when your kid calls you a slur.
yeah. Your kid, when your kid called, yeah,
Yeah. Well, you're trying to so you called your dad the slur,
yeah,
and you
and you, and
and
I'm
me.
no, not and you, no, just the dad,
I
and
was
then
gonna
I'm trying
say
to
like I stormed
unwrap
out
you.
to put my shoes on,
Yeah,
like,
okay, great,
and
perfect.
now
So
you know now too, like you know the
yeah,
deets. Okay,
right. So it's time to go. I mean,
it's
it's
time
time
to
to
go.
fucking
I'm
and
pissed too.
I have so now I don't know, like I don't know. This is the thing, like if I try to get some other people to come with us, it's kind of dangerous. Like we well, I don't know if people would stop us or what. Um, it's the middle of the night though. You can't really travel in the woods at night.
With a map maker, maybe you can
That's a
a
good
little
yeah,
bit, a
maybe,
little bit.
maybe.
I mean, you did succeed on that map. The
Yeah,
first
and we go to that rock all the time, right? That's like our regular meeting
Right,
place. So between those things, I mean, it's dangerous, but I think in theory we could.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we're going.
Yeah, I'm pissed now too. Um, can I do some dialogue along the way?
Please.
I'm really curious about your slur use here.
Yeah.
Ajax is curious. Ajax is gonna kind of call you on it and be like, Eusebius, you called Uncle that name, and isn't the reason you're so agitated because of your care for like a woman, for your mom, for Zneas? Like, would would you use like why that word? Like, I don't know. It feels dissonant. Know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Eusebius. Yeah, no, I don't know what you're saying at all. I'm befuddled. No, yeah, Eusebius gives you this really like this kind of face like he knows everything. You know that cruel kind of jeering face that people make when they are they're kind of they're just caught up in an ideology and they're not really sure what.
Especially when they're
There's yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, Ajax, it, you're like, you're talking about words where who gives a fuck? And he just like, walks a little farther in front of you. And he's like, shut the fuck up. We can't be talking in the woods. Which is definitely not true. We definitely can be talking in the woods.
No, I mean I don't want that old ass man to hear us, so I think I shut up.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take it. All right, quiet it is.
what have you both brought with you? You know, I think it's important to know what you're carrying. And I'm imagining, like, you know, a lot of the property around here is communal, you know, so there's probably just like a barrel of, you know, torches outside of someone's door. You know, you could just like pick one up and then, you know, light it at one of the torches at the wall, and then, you know, so you've got some light.
Yeah, I think I mean I have a spear. I feel like if we know our way there, and I don't know how bright it is at night though. If it's bright enough, we probably wouldn't light a torch, so we could just have our eyes adjust so we could see a little further. Because if we had a torch, you can't really see very far.
Right.
So we'd know that if we were walking around with a torch, we would just be killed if there was someone who was gonna kill
Yeah,
us.
I'm seeing it as a very clear night, you know, and
Okay.
the moon is in the sky.
Yeah, I was picturing the same. So I think we probably have maybe a torch with us, but we probably are. Yeah.
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 I mean, I threw on my tunic thing. I think maybe I think I would. I'm not wearing the earrings, but I think I've tucked them in a pocket. I
Okay.
think it feels
Yeah.
important that they're along for this. And yeah, whatever. If I have whatever that, or I have my little map belt thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I got.
Cool. Okay.
Am I limping? Because my leg was like set, but it's not healed. Like, am I
Yeah, you
slowing
probably to
down?
have the staff.
Yeah, right.
Probably would.
Instead. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So where are you headed?
To the rock, damn it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's a little bit where I think Eusebius is in front because of the whole interaction, and then he's like, "Oh wait," and then goes and lets Ajax lead. He's like storming a path, and he's like, "Oh wait, Ajax."
You can't read a map.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also,
You
I'm
go up one
slow.
direction, and Ajax is like, "Where? It's this
Yeah,
way. Like, where are you going?"
yeah,
How maddening it must be because I'm slowed down. Yeah, you gotta
exactly.
stay with
Yeah,
me. Well,
I'm gonna make a quick roll.
uh-oh.
it's just for fun. It's just to see what
Yeah,
number pops up.
I like rolling dice sometimes. uh, okay, yeah. So you get to the rock. Um, yeah, here you are.
Yeah, I'm frantic. I'm pointing. I'm like, they were right there. Like, the man was hunched over. I'm like acting it out. I'm like, he was like this. There was this creature that was like rotting and it smelled so bad and it was holding this chain. And there was Diocles in his collar. Yeah, I really pantomime it all out for you.
Oh, and the stench, you know, was so bad that, you know, you're standing here and you kind of remember it, and instead of
Mm,
smelling it all over again, you know.
yeah. Ooh, yeah, I like gag. I dry heave for you in the middle of my retelling.
Oh, I like. Yeah, yeah. Eusebius isn't like, where are they? You said they were here, because obviously, they wouldn't be just standing. Yeah, Eusebius is like, I know it's a small chance. Maybe we can find a trail or just anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's probably no chance we're gonna do that at night. I feel like we might
Yeah.
have to wait until the morning to really
Yeah. Well,
try to
I
follow them. I
mean,
mean,
I'll articulate. I'll be like the places I can like. I don't know about finding a trail, but I could get us to the fishing hole, and I'm gonna boldly say my map doesn't lead to the place, but I'm gonna say like in the vision, the dream, whatever you want to call it. Like I think I could get us to where I was rescued. I don't know. Maybe
but
we learned something.
these people came from off in the mountains,
Yeah.
right, or something.
Did they come from a distinctly different direction than the?
No, they just came out of the woods. I
Ju-
don't think you would have clocked it.
Yeah. I don't
Right.
know. I'm just telling you where I can get us in the
Well,
dark.
no, I mean, you succeeded on the map. So I think you are oriented. They came from. I mean, not that this is gonna like necessarily, you know, let you like follow them or something,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they came from the northeast. Um, down the slope. So you know that you have at least the most general of directions for where they're going.
Right. And
Right.
northwest is where the hole and the room place is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm passing this on to Eusebius. I'm like, they came from over here, like the place is in that direction. Like that's all I could do in the dark, though. Yeah,
Yeah, and we definitely can't. I feel like there's just no way we can track them in the dark. So I think, or try to do anything like that. So I think Eusebius is like is so frustrated and furious, and he's like, we're gonna have to wait until the morning, and I think we're going to have to tell. We're just gonna have to tell some people. We're gonna have to try to get people to come with us and try to figure out. Maybe someone knows if there's a settlement, and if there are people who live in that direction. Like, do we know if there are people who live in that direction? Oh, and would Ajax recognize any like cultural markings on those people? Like, are they dressed in some kind of way?
Oh, it's a good. Yeah, that's a good
you
question.
mentioned. Oh
Um,
no, that you mentioned the spirits.
yeah. But the old man, no, you wouldn't recognize it. He was wearing just like a bunch of stitched together furs, just like totally wild clothing. Um, and that like there's nothing in that's wilderness. If you
Right.
if you
Oh
go kind of
God.
northwest and and then start curving around south around the mountain, you get to four fields. So any civilized traffic is coming from the opposite direction.
Yeah. So I think this is hitting Eusebius, and Eusebius, I think, is just sitting down and like crying because he's just like furious and he doesn't know what to do. And he's just like, there's no way, you know, there's no way we're gonna find them. Can you? Yeah, yeah. I think that's
Yeah, I don't think Ajax is more encouraged than you. I think maybe I just join you in grief for the moment. Yeah,
yeah.
fuck.
I think Eusebius is still gonna try to go find some, go ask, go to try to figure out some help because
Yeah.
he's not gonna give up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I
because
love
then
that
like,
your
yeah, this is
motive for finding Diocles is to exonerate your mom, like not like means to an oh, this is yucky. I love it. Not yucky. It's complicated. It's great.
yeah, yeah. And I think I'm just thinking this society isn't like ours where if you go and try to find some kind of help from anything established or mainstream, you're not gonna get it. Like, I don't know. There's no real support for a person in danger. But I assume that we're not. No one's gonna like hurt us because we're like, hey, we need. I'm just thinking like that there are people that will hopefully maybe at least give us a chance to tell them what's going on and die. I think I'm saying to like Ajax, like you know if there's one person who will help us, it's Diocles' father.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say, but I thought we could trust your father and he called me crazy. Um, what if Nikon's the only one who can help us? What if he's the only one who will believe me, even though he's furious with me? Um, I don't know. I don't know if Androcles is gonna believe us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Eusebius is like, all right, let's yeah,
You'll come with me? I'm
yeah.
scared of this motherfucker. You'll come
Oh
with
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love. Okay, so now we know that Eusebius is coming along with Ajax to Nikon the next morning. I love
How'd
that.
you
Yeah.
do? That was awesome.
Uh, sometimes things just fall together. Um, okay, so oh man, okay, so you're both coming in, and now we know it's like probably as early as possible. Once there's any chance that he's out of bed. Um, and all of these people are early risers. You're up with the
Yeah.
dawn. Okay, okay, so I think that you get there before um, anyone else. And again, you walk up, um, knock on his door, the door of the house. He doesn't come to it, so you go to look in the temple, and he has, he kind of comes out, um, and he's a little bit disheveled. He comes out, from behind the screen that divides the temple in half, and he says he's kind of groggy. He rubs his eyes, and he, tells you that he's been back there, praying all night, trying to get some kind of insight from Anax. Um, and I mean, I think I'm imagining that being the elder and the social superior, he kind of sets the pace for the conversation. Um, and the first thing he does is he goes over to Ajax and he grabs both of your hands and he kind of draws you over, just to a place where you can sit. There probably aren't pews. Well, there might be like some stone around the edge, right, where people can sit. And so he kind of draws you away from Eusebius over here, and he says, look, son, uh, I, I want to give you my deepest apologies for what I did yesterday. That was wrong. It was not it was not worthy of anyone, but kind of a prominent anthropoi, like myself, that was shameful. um and I thought about I was going to go and talk to Eustorgios first, but now that you are here, I can talk to you directly. He says, please, I beg your forgiveness for that, and I will not strike you again, never.
I think I think Ajax starts weeping. I I think I'm crying and
Because you thought you were gonna, yeah,
I'm like,
you were the one in the
you were
wrong.
right. I'm defending I'm defending that he slapped the shit out of me. Like you were right. Like I've got the earrings in the pocket. I force them into his hand. I'm like, take these. Like I I'm I was out of my depth. Like I didn't know what I was saying, and like we need your help. And I gesture to Eusebius too. Like we need your help. We um And yeah, I mean, I haven't like slept. I start like babbling again.
Yeah,
I
I
start
mean it's
telling the story again. Like I saw Diocles. Like I left my body. Like it's all out of order and jumbled. But like I'm telling it again. Um, and
I just want to say, like, Eusebius is like probably has a little knot in his stomach seeing this like very intense interaction with this weird being apologetic after being slapped. Like, it's just really there's a lot there. So I'm
yeah,
just but there's Anyways, go on though.
yeah. No, I mean that's it. You were right. Here's the
oof,
shit. We need your help.
So fucking
It's
yeah.
Oh, it actually hurts.
Okay. Um. Okay, you're babbling. You're spilling all this.
I really emphasize that this is
Yeah.
about finding our friend Diocles. Like that's the heart of it. I don't care about anything else. I just want Diocles to be back.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think we already know that you fail your speak own language roll. That's not in doubt. The I think the question is, does he have any like knowledge, any magical lore, anything that can connect right and make it real?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure out what his intelligence is. So I'm gonna make just an int times 5 here. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So um okay, so you're telling him all of this. It's very okay, no. Here we go. Okay, so sorry, I was wrong. He did have something to connect it to. But as you start out telling him, he's kind of doing the thing that Eustorgios was doing, like, these kids, he's looking at both of you, kind of worried. He's like, these kids are under, horrible pressure, they need guidance. But as you start to tell, about leaving your body and, describing, what you saw out in the woods, how, some of the animals that you saw, those silver animals, he does start to kind of perk up, right? And he's listening now. This it isn't just a nightmare you were having; it was a real place you were. And occasionally he'll stop you and say, okay, so he might ask you about the stars. Did you ever look up? And did you see familiar constellations or not? Um, and then you get to oh, do you tell him about going to the bunker?
Yeah, I think I reluctantly, like I said, I was weeping, like I've got
Yeah.
another gear when I get to that bit. I'm like, I didn't go in. I say before I went there, I say I didn't go in, and then I like tell him like I went there, there were these spirits, like and I left right away. I basically did.
Yeah.
There's a
Um,
certain way that these kinds of very harsh teacher type people make you need to confess, and it's really like vivid for me.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I totally believe it. Yeah.
He doesn't his face is, it is immovable, as you tell him this, right? That this is kind of a sin, and then
I was just looking for Diocles.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's all like excused up as
yeah,
much as I
Oh yeah, and fucking this is the only part where Eusebius talks, and he's also backing up Ajax, like on this, in this really,
solidarity.
yeah, in this scared way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, so and then when you get to the old man, he's he's on the edge of his seat, and he asks you,
Yes.
every detail. Really, it takes you 10-15 minutes to get through that 10-second encounter, because he's asking uh about the heads. He's asking about the monster, Diocles, every detail. And then he sits back and um says, Ajax, I'm very glad that you told me this, but I'm sorry that you would become caught up uh in such dark forces, both of you. Even even as mighty a warrior as Hesperos could be, knocked off of his footing by, by the currents that are buffeting you. Um, and he says, if what you tell me is true, um, and I believe it is, then uh, we can give up looking for Diocles. And in fact, we should probably pray to the Father that he doesn't cross your paths again. Um, and this also, this also, this will need to be brought up, in the council because this has bearing on the matter of the Parthenoi man who was, who Hesperos captured in the woods. Um,
Hmm.
and
So
yeah,
so this just as like just curiosity. So this council thing that you're talking about, this isn't just like a kind of this is actually a real discussion where there are
mhm,
different endings that can occur. It's not like
yep.
oh, we're picking one off. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it's a pretty like informal democracy. So, the everything is organized around this religious, shared religious belief. And like Eustorgios is kind of a priest. Um, so when like the head of a guild, inducts someone, they will actually initiate them into the Annex cult. So so the religious authority is a little bit distributed, and you probably both seen at least one of these. They're kind of familiar with how they work, but significant um, individuals who can mobilize a lot of social power will kind of be in the inner circle there speaking, and kind of the spotlight will be on them. But around them will be, people who basically they draw their social capital from. And they kind of have to answer to them as well. So Eustorgios is going to be there because he's the head of a guild. He's a very prominent person, and there's going to be a group of these people who are making decisions and discussing things, but doing it, but they can be swayed, pushed and pulled, by their constituents as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I think he says Ajax. I hate to ask this of you, um, but would you and and I wouldn't ask it of you if I didn't think you could do it. Um, would you be willing to testify in the council? And I warn you, um, you will be under the gaze of Annex, and even if you wanted to lie, there will be no falsehood there.
Hmm. I I'm thinking like even with this like powerful figure now backing me up, I'm like worried about being believed. Like, um, I think the scar of uncle not believing is like sitting with me. Um, yeah, I think I'll agree to do it. Yeah, I'll agree to do
Okay.
it, but um, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'll do what you say, teacher. I'll do what you say.
Okay. Okay. Um, and I think he says to you, Eusebius, he says, the the forces that Ajax has contacted, they have you, in their path as well. And, you both need to watch out for each other. There are dangers, and as much as I wish we could, we can't protect you from them. Even in sleep, they find you. And I'm sorry. He basically says, you're gonna have to grow up quickly.
You-
If you were kids last week, not anymore. You've got to start acting like adults now.
right.
Um, yeah. And I don't know if you reply anything to that injunction, but
No, I think Eusebius. No, I don't think so. I think some maybe something little, but yeah, nothing
yeah.
that I can. Yeah, think of. Yeah.
And I think he stands up and he says, I've got to go. I have to go rest and prepare for the council. And then he sort of remembers, the earrings, and he takes your hand and puts them in your hand, and he says, wear these. They look better on you than on an old man like me. But thank you. I was the one in the wrong. So these stay with you. And he closes your hand over them, and then heads to his house to rest. Um, yeah, and so you're both kind of left in the sanctuary.
Mhm.
I think Eusebius is. I don't know. Do we pray to Annex? I think Eusebius is whatever form of worship is the most desperate and immediate. Eusebius is going to do that
Yeah.
because I think this feels out of his hands to him.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll join you. I put the earrings in. I do what teacher says, and I join you in prayer.
yeah. I mean, this is it probably involves if it's desperate, it involves prostration, and it's just in front of that screen. There's probably some kind of cult figure that's brought out during ceremonies. But yeah, you can pray and try to get right with Annex. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah,
Okay, so you've got so the council will be happening soon. You are both uh if you're walking through the streets, people are pointing. You've both really been kind of thrown to the floor because you're known as the last people who saw Diocles. Um, everyone kind of knows who you are in relation to this, in relation to all this. And is there anything else you're going to be doing before the council?
Hmm. I don't know if like would we want to go back to Eustorgios or no? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Ajax would. I think Ajax is just gonna testify knowing Eustorgios is gonna be there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think
yeah. I think Eusebius is just praying.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually,
Cool. So, uh, okay. So the council is pretty informal. Everyone in the community is going to gather or around that hill where the temple is, and there are like young kids who are running around, have no idea what's going on. They're just like they're playing ball.
yeah,
Um, if you ever did like I think a lot of churches have this, right, where during the ceremonies, the kids are like outside, if they can't sit still, so they're kind of
yeah,
the outer perimeter, right? And then the mass of people, annex initiates gather, and then inside that is a small group of prominent men, right? Sitting kind of just outside that, there are probably a few anthropoi who are from prominent citizens from either Winding Ways or Sea Stop. So they don't really have a voice here, but they're here to, witness, report. They'll bring the news back to those other towns as to what is happening. And also, oh yeah, the a couple of the Isarias worshippers, like the traders, are kind of escorted out of town. They have to remain outside the walls while this council is going on. So there's some smoke from their cooking fires, out there. And so this inner circle, Hesperos, the warrior, um, Nikon, the priest, Eustorgios, and the head of the miners, and then also some other prominent individuals who may not have quite as organized a political bloc, right? That have a lot of resources or valuable skills, things like that, high-ranking priests, all that stuff. And I think um, both of you are actually, you might kind of go to to that big mass in the middle at first, but Eustorgios kind of picks you out. He's talking to the priest, and he like gestures to you, and you actually sit down next to these men from the other towns. Uh, in front of everybody. So you're kind of giving this pride of place. Um, and
And
yeah,
I think just to
yeah,
insert this here, sorry, I keep interrupting,
no,
but
no, you're good.
I think Eusebius, I think I said it like when we started that he had this, he enjoyed, he liked this town, he liked his family. Now he's seeing this massive machine that could, even if it doesn't kill his mom, it could, just because. And
Yeah,
I think he's looking at it with like hate and like he's completely nauseous and like sweating and yeah.
wow.
I think when he was praying to Anax, he's probably more just like desperately yelling into the void than actually really doing the proper annex stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. That's how I'm feeling about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just for contrast, I feel like Ajax is like earnest prayer. I don't know if we pray like aloud or
Yeah, probably.
yeah. So a little bit of
Yeah.
a counter, yeah, to your
How else are the
irreverence.
gods gonna hear you if you
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, the meeting hasn't happened, but I believe in the system
Yeah.
for the moment.
Yeah.
um, and I mean, Hesperos is the one, Eusebius, who brings your mom out, and he's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has like a short spear with him, and he kind of prods her along. And she is she's up on the hill, but kind of away from everybody. Um, so there's probably some preliminary ceremonies, all that stuff. But um, eventually uh, it's really a conversation, begins. And Hesperos, leads first, with the accusations, right? Telling about how he captured Xenaeus. Everyone knows the Parthenoi are child thieves. Um, she was skulking outside of town. Um, we can see, look, you can see that she's, even from her body, you can tell she's already, a child thief because she's pregnant. And that baby can't belong to her, since she's not anthropoi. Um, and so yeah, he's doing this, and his contingent are cheering, stamping. It's a very kind of engaged thing, where the degree of social support that he can mobilize is defined by people very loudly backing him up. Um, and he does have a sizable contingent. He's a war hero, very relatively wealthy, um, and so yeah, people are definitely, agreeing with what he says, at least at the beginning. And but while he's talking, um, you get Eusebius this totally strange uh, sense of someone near to you. And your mom is sitting up on the hill and she's thrown that hair over her face, so she's like covered, by this long tangled, thickety hair, but you hear her voice just right next to you in your ear. Um, and we're gonna find out real quick,
Oh, this is
what
cool.
she's telling.
I hope the dice are audible in the recording. Feels important.
I wish they were. They aren't. They are not for
Oh.
me.
We'll have to get a special mic for it.
Yeah. Buzz Mike. Yeah.
Okay, good news. She made her intelligence roll. So what was at stake was whether or not she figured out if you or and Eustorgios had kind of sold her or not.
Right.
And she says, listen, daughter. Whatever happens here, I want you to know it's not your fault. I know you did your best to protect me, and it's just bad fortune, that's landed me here. Uh, so sometimes these things happen, and we just have to accept them. Uh, and I just want you to know, don't blame yourself, and don't think I blame you.
Mm. Yeah. Eusebius is hearing her, and it would be comforting if it wasn't like he has no idea if he's ever going to hear her voice again after this.
Yeah.
So I think he's just like totally, clenched up, and you know he's kind of stone faced because he's just in like a complete world of terror. Yeah.
I told you, um, I told you that I wanted you to have a choice of which path you took, and so listen, if you do want to leave this place and live among my people, uh, the our paths, you can find them at the beginning of the new year, high in the mountains, and she names, one of the peaks that people can
Mm.
see. Um, I don't have a cool Greek sounding name with me, but she names it. She says,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where they go, and what you should and listen closely. I'm going to tell you what you should say to them, to earn their trust,
Mm.
and she's going to try to teach you um, some like passphrases in
Hmm.
storm speech, in the cult's
Okay.
sacred
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a listen roll.
Oh Jesus. Oh, okay. I have a 25% chance. I would really like to make this roll. Let's see. Okay. So, dice. All right. 31. So I failed.
Oh, yeah. So she says, these phrases that set your teeth, vibrating.
Yeah.
It's like, and in the horizon, you can kind of hear some thunder as she speaks it. Um, but you can't, uh, you couldn't repeat it if you had to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she says, listen, The link that I've opened between us, it will stay open. I'll leave it open as long as I can if you want to talk. And then she goes silent. Uh, and meanwhile, the discussion has gone on, and uh, at this point, Nikon is ready to call up Ajax. Um, and uh, he is going, he's going to say, as is our, as is the way, um, you know, there's no deceit, here under the gaze of Anax. And, so he says, Ajax, step up here in front of me. And he's going to put his hand out and, I think, you'll see it because you're being affected. Eusebius, you'll see it because you have a higher than average power. His aura kind of flares, and he's going to actually cast some rune magic on you. It's accompanied, by this earth tongue, the cult language. And again, everyone kind of draws in a little because you can feel the ground trembling under your feet as he speaks it. Um, there you can hear the sound of like rocks falling in the mountains, miles away. And he says, it's done. Um, and he says, even if you wanted to deceive us, you couldn't. He's cast a spell that makes deception impossible.
Oh,
And he says,
Damn,
"Hey,
this.
I
Yeah.
don't like that at all.
um, and everybody in this circle has this cast on them."
Oh my god.
Yep.
So,
So Hesperos, beforehand, he got it. When Eustorgio speaks, he'll have that whammy put on him.
whoa.
Yep.
So I want to say that like until my name was called, like until I
Yeah.
was called, I was kind of like repeating the story to myself. Like I probably missed some of the details of
Yeah.
like the other testimony because I was really focused on getting it right. And now like that's been overridden. Like my preparation has been overridden. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I feel like I don't even like role play it, even, right? Like
Right.
I say it as it happens. Like,
Yeah.
if I got it wrong before, you know now.
So he uh you know you're not getting that support. There no one is shouting. It's very quiet. It's dead quiet. Everyone
Yeah.
is listening.
I feel like I would look to Eustorgios. Like I would intentionally try to like get a read on his reaction to hearing my testimony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he avoids your eyes. Yeah.
Crushing. Okay.
Um, and when so you tell this whole thing in exhaustive detail. The questions that come are like they're again, they're all about measurement and measure. So people, one of the miners, might ask, like how many feet of stone did you walk through? There's very literal minded questions
I
here
don't.
as they examine you. Um, and but when you get to seeing the old man and Diocles, the priests really step forward. A few of the other prominent people from the temple kind of perk up, and they really cross-examine you about that. Um, and you're it's 15 minutes, but just really grueling. 15 minutes of everyone's eyes on you. You're totally vulnerable. Um, and yeah, uh, after you have spoken, you know, Nikon says, thank you, you did great. He kind of whispers, did great. He says, go sit down. And then he's going to put forward the case of the priests, which is that you encountered an ancient cultic enemy, uh, someone who traffics with chaotic forces, worships evil gods, and that the details, that many of the details that you took are kind of profound cult secrets, and there's no way that you could have known them. You couldn't have just dreamed this because it corresponds to lore. The temple was pretty. Um, and I mean, I this is enough to carry the day. So, people back up Nikon, and and they know that um, yeah, they know that Xenaeus did not kidnap Diocles.
Is it also part of the like position that no one's going after Diocles? Is that built into this sort of like decision making body?
I don't think it's mentioned. I mean, you could ask.
I want to know. Yeah, Ajax is asking Nikon as the. Well, I guess you can ask a question even when you're
Yeah.
blessed with the truth. Um, yeah. Will will you go for Diocles? Like I'm looking on Nikon. Will you go after Diocles?
I think Hesperos, grumbles that, you're not supposed to be speaking. And there's, a rustle of people who, their feathers are ruffled because you're speaking in council. But, Nikon backs you up, kind of calms them. Um, and he says, where, wherever Diocles is, he has been tainted by evil magics, and we ought to pray that our paths never cross his again, or only to our sorrow. And about that point, Androcles stands up and just storms out. Even the Eustorius like runs after him and tries to bring him back, but kind of just pushes him away and goes back to his house.
I feel like drawn to go after Androcles, but I think like the room it feels like that's not allowed. I'm gonna go with what feels appropriate and kind of take my seat, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And with Xenaeus, I mean they're using he pronouns, right? Because the Parthenoi are just degenerate anthropoi, and vice versa. Uh, so she's cleared of Diocles of this crime, and it's decided she won't be killed. She'll be held here until her child is born. The child can be rescued from the sinful ways, and then she can be
Oh,
turned out
Jesus.
turned out into the woods, to return to the Parthenoi,
Oh my God,
um,
it's so
and return to
evil.
her people. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
holy
that's
shit.
kind of the
Okay.
final judgment here.
Wow. So they're like, we get that. That's so fucked. That's so fucked up. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
are either of you doing anything, in the during the council or in the immediate aftermath?
I think I'm just kind of hanging my head at this point. Like I
Yeah,
don't I don't really like the outcome, but I'm
right.
I think Eusebius has a huge cocktail of emotions, but I don't think he's feeling much grief right now for Diocles. I think he's feeling a lot of relief, and he's feeling the weird feeling where I remember when I was a kid and I learned that my grandma died. I was in 8th grade, and I didn't care, and I remember being like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?" And because
Yeah.
I actually knew her pretty well. It wasn't even like she was like an estranged grandma. It was really strange. I just like did not care about it at the time until a little while later, maybe until a few years later. But then, yeah, I think it's like that. I don't know if either of you have experienced that, but it's a really weird feeling when you don't care. But I think that's kind of what he's feeling, maybe for the first time in his life, probably.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Uh, and Storgios, seeks you out, and again, much like Nikon, says, I'm nephew, I'm so sorry. I didn't believe you. He says, I'm just an illiterate stone cutter, and these, visions and dreams are, above my pay grade. But I should have, I should have listened to you, and I thank the gods that Nikon did, so we wouldn't have, so the council wouldn't have innocent blood on its hands.
He's part of the council too, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say, what about Diocles? What? He's out there. I saw him. We're just gonna. You're just gonna leave him?
What would you have me do? You know, the priests have said that he's beyond saving. We have no way, we have no way to track him. We don't know where he is, and if we found him, I mean, would we really want to? Would we really even like what we found?
Think a little angrily, gonna say, Eusebius has more courage than any of you elders. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna storm off to Diocles' house, to Androcles' house. I kind of want to talk to Androcles.
Okay, so Eustorgios kind of catches you
Yeah.
and says quietly, I know you're going to Androcles' house. I can't. I don't want to go against the decision of the council. Uh, that's going to create problems. For the people in my guilds. Again, but talk to Androcles. Androcles knows the guild, and I'll give you what help you can, or what help I can. Uh, it might not be much, but I want to find Diocles just as much as you do.
I think I'm still kind of pissed. I kind of
Yeah,
just shake out of his grasp, and yeah, I don't really have a response. Um, yeah, off I go.
yeah. Let's. So, quick check-in. How are we doing on time?
I feel good.
Feel
Yeah,
good?
I'm
Cool.
good too.
Okay.
Going to the East Coast.
Yes. It's only
uh,
10:20 here. So,
nice. We have 2 hours of play. um, okay. So, Eusebius, I think you're kind of, seems like you're processing your emotions just by yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll follow Ajax to Androcles' house, and he's at the beginning of a really horrible bender. Um, so when his doors open, and when you walk in, he's got a jug of fermented something that is pretty strong, lightly hallucinogenic. You know, and he's like taking his first long draw from it when you come in, and he quickly puts it down, and then shoves it out of the way. And I think he's not saying, they're so that he's a big guy, works with his hands, very he Eustorgios, looks pretty clean and clean cut since he was appearing in front of the council. This guy, has been, on his work day, so he's just like totally dirty, and gritty. He's got, stone dust and powder on his hands, and into that, the tears have just cut into that dust, and you could see them. But he can't speak, but he quickly wipes his eyes and kind of goes stoic, right, and just kind of waits for you to say something.
Yeah, I'm coming in apologetic. I'm coming in like, I'm so sorry. Like I thought as long as I told the truth that they would go that they would go looking for him, that they would try to find Diocles. I thought, what's the word?
Suspicious, yeah.
Sparrows. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I thought we would go get him.
Ah, you don't need to apologize. It you you gave me the first hope I've had in the past few days, just knowing he's alive. No
Will you
matter
go? Oh,
no matter how terrible it is.
will you go for him then?
I plan on it. If I can, I'll do everything I can to get him.
I know where to start. Can we come? Thinking of Eusebius.
Yeah.
Yeah, think again.
I know.
No,
I
see.
know.
We'll see. We'll
Conflict.
see.
Can we come?
Yeah, conflict. Yeah.
uh, I mean, he says, you know more. You know more than I do. I figure I've got a better chance of finding him, with you along.
Um, say the word. Tell me when. I'm racked with guilt. I'm ready to go. I
Yeah.
didn't tell him I'm racked with guilt, but yeah.
I'll, I'll have to talk to your uncle. Um, I don't want to find him and bring him back, only to find that my standing in the cult is gone. He's gonna need time off basically.
Mm.
And he's
I mean, he's going to ask for himself, not to like ask if it's okay if I go.
Oh right, yeah, that's
Yeah.
your choice. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna say what he thinks wouldn't stop me.
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't stop me either. Uh, Listen, I'll let me figure some things out, and I'll find you. Okay.
Um, yeah, where should we meet? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, you'll find me.
It's a small town.
Okay.
Yeah. People don't
You'll find
make appointments, because you can just like go to their house. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't really want to go home. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta find Eusebius because we're going together.
And I mean, he wants you gone so he can
Yeah,
go to oblivion for a while.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
And I don't think there's you just go. He's if you glance over your shoulder, he's
In the
bringing that
background
jug
of the
back.
frame, yeah,
Exactly.
over my shoulder. He's
Yep.
grabbing.
Yep. Okay, so you go into Eusebius
I'm
next.
looking for you.
All right.
All right.
Where are
Yeah,
you?
that's a good question.
He
Well,
finds
eventually he's
you.
gonna.
It's just a question of when.
Yeah, it's not like Xenaeus isn't like held in a fucking prison cell or something, right? Where is she now?
She's I think she's in she's back in the shed for the moment where she was
Mhm.
imprisoned. Yeah. So just
Right.
locked inside. Yeah.
And
But there
do
aren't like
people watch?
guards stationed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean there are probably some people who kind of come to gawk.
Yeah. So I think Eusebius is avoiding going and talking to her. Um. So he's just like fucking around somewhere, like in a field or something, or like sitting on a wall, kicking rocks.
Oh yeah,
Literally.
yeah, one of those terrace walls. Yeah, yeah. Looking down, at the at the fields. Yeah.
Yeah, and think what how can what does this all mean? Like if the right facts weren't there, someone would have died. Um,
Mhm.
and just feeling really horrible and cold about that this is like that's the state of of this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hustling up and assuming our alignment. I'm saying like Androcles is getting ready. Like we should too.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Eusebius says getting ready. You mean to go run off in the woods and die somewhere? Didn't you hear what they said?
He's he's our friend. You don't just leave your friend. I saw him. He spoke to me. He was still
I've
himself. He
I've
wasn't
never
evil.
I've never left a friend behind. The they said that we have to leave him behind. It's not my choice.
You've never left a friend behind, then I mean, I fell in a pit. Where were you? Where were you? You were supposed to meet him at the rock. What do you mean you've never left a friend?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So how does Eusebius react to this? Yeah, Eusebius like shoves Ajax and is like, "Go away." Like you, can't you see there's nothing we can do about this? It's not like a hard shove.
Yeah.
It's more like a hand on the shoulder like
Yeah, don't worry. I got slapped really hard and this
it's horrible. It's horrible. It's fucking
yeah.
horrible.
I think I'm
This is what Eusebius is saying, so that's yeah. It's not totally like a dismissal though. He's not like running away. He's just like, what
yeah.
are what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I apologize. I say like it wasn't your fault. It's nobody's fault. Um
Why did you fall down a pit? Why were you wandering way off in the woods? I was dealing with something important and you fell into a pit. You should watch where you're going. If anything, it's your fault that Diocles is missing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Uh
don't know. This is
yeah, no, this is
Eusebius is
great.
also 16.
This
Yeah,
is
this is
great.
I mean,
I'm
this
saying,
is this.
you know, what I was doing was important too, I'm following Nikon's teachings. I'm mapping uh the terrain outside of this place. The work I do could help others like you who like us, who want to be out, who like spending time out there, or who are looking for something beyond this place.
There's oh yeah, and Eusebius says there's nothing beyond this place.
How can you say that? Diocles is beyond this place. Xenaeus, right? Xenaeus came from beyond this place. That old fucking man came from beyond this place.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go. How are you gonna? How could you find him? What could you possibly do? I mean, you listen. Like everything we do, it's just if one of these powerful people doesn't agree, then you get no help. So what are you gonna do about it? It might be better just to forget about it. Like,
Forget about our friend. If there are powerful people here and in Four Fields and in Sea Stop, then there are powerful people everywhere, and some of them will help us.
yeah, I think Eusebius says, I think that the only person that can help you right now is Xenaeus. Yeah, I can't help you. But if anyone knows something about someone out there, it would be her.
Well, then maybe she should come with us.
Yes, I think Eusebius doesn't like this. I don't know. I don't think there's the like movie like and we agree. I think actually Eusebius is like not no, he's not gonna help you, I think. Unless you I don't know. I don't know if there's an unless. Like but there's
Okay.
no role.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's
In-
no.
I mean we can go on a conversation, but Eusebius doesn't, like Eusebius is like, no, she's not gonna come with you. You heard them say like, we can't get her out of there. I think Eusebius is totally like in a doomed
Yeah. I'm picking up a
headspace
rock
here.
and banging at the lock. Is there a lock? I'm not trying to override. I want to be wary.
No.
Like Sam, I'm not trying to override your gameplay, but
Yeah.
Ajax is determined. You see.
So he's gonna go try to like free Xenaeus is the idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there are people around everywhere. There are
You
people
don't really know.
who's yeah. No, I'm
So this
like
is
reckless. Like I'm picking up a rock. It might be like just a gesture. I might just be like sort of performing my seriousness, but I'm like winding up with a rock.
So I'm picturing we're not near where Xenaeus is. I think
Oh, I thought we were.
we're
Oh no, you're just sitting on a wall. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to go.
Okay.
Stand up and go. Yeah.
So that's the gesture. Is I'm scooping up a rock and I'm telling you that that's what it's for. It's like then we'll go without you. Like
And you're telling me that you're gonna go free Xenaeus?
yeah. Then I'll go
Okay,
get
I'm
her
going
and
to
we'll go
yeah,
without.
I'm gonna like grab you and stop you. Yeah, this is like Eusebius is like terror. Like he's just like the weapon is poised. Like don't. She just escaped like death.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah, I think he doesn't want. I don't think he wants this. Like not. This isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
then
think.
we're going to strike rank then.
Yeah, let's go to strike rank.
Oh, I was ready to pathetically fall over on my bad leg. Yeah, that's
No,
right.
no, we gotta go to strike rank.
Okay, I think that there are rules for grappling
Mhm.
Good.
and for hitting people with rocks.
Oh shit. That's not what it's for.
Well, you've got it in your hand. I'm just saying.
This is like a Cain type situation, like, and I'm Abel, and you're Cain.
This game is so good.
Also, just a warning that you're gonna miss so much, and then you're just gonna roll a crit and like
Right.
Yeah.
kill someone.
Like in real life.
Like exactly
Yeah.
like in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
I don't want to accidentally impale Ajax.
I don't want to
so-
bludgeon you to death either, but like
Yeah.
one of these things might happen. Oh.
So what? Yeah, I mean, what are you both doing? You declare there's a free and clear phase where you can declare, what your action is.
I'm gonna
And
grapple. I'm
and
gonna
just to set it, you're stand so Ajax, you've started stepping away. You've got the rock in hand. Eusebius, you're standing up. You're right on the edge of the terrace, and you're probably 5 or 6 feet from each other. I mean, it's close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just sprint at Ajax and throw myself on him.
Okay.
And I imagine in the distance there's people like, I don't know, there's people farming somewhere nearby.
It's totally quiet because everyone went to the council, so it's totally quiet out here. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay.
more alone, than you even ordinarily would be.
Right.
Oh, I need to
What you
declare?
gonna
I
do?
thought my walking with a rock. Okay. Um, when I hear the pitter patter of the sprinter, um, I think I'm kind of like,
Well, is there surprise? I mean,
yeah,
this isn't really surprise. No, how are you gonna get surprised by?
Yeah,
I
you're
don't think there's
probably
surprise
yelling,
there.
like
Yeah,
you're not a
definitely.
trained warrior. Yeah.
yeah. I think I've got the rock in one hand and I've got my like walking stick in the other, and I think I'm kind of just like wanting it out in front of me to try and like you know not give you as direct a line on tackling me. I guess. Yeah, I'm just kind of waving my walking stick.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam, you are going to. Oh, well, I guess we should. What's your base strike rank, everybody?
Oh, I don't know.
Mine's
Let's see. Oh,
5.
size plus. It's size plus dex. Is that it? It says base
Um,
strength.
yeah, and then we'll do it. So, what's your size and dex?
My size is 10 and my dex is 12, so 22.
Okay, so your base strike rank is 5,
Okay.
and
Mine's
then
also 5.
okay, so
Okay.
and I mean, Avid, you're not Ajax isn't hitting Eusebius, so I don't even think.
It's more defensive, so
Yeah, so you're just gonna roll. Let's see. Yeah, this would be so much easier if you had swords.
the dismemberment. So it's
Yeah, I pull out my spear and I'm gonna go kill. I'm gonna kill Ajax for this argument.
Sorry, just checking. Okay, so what is your base attack, Eusebius?
Base attack is -5.
And what's
That should
your base defense?
um
Oh, sorry, what's
-5.
Ajax's base
have
defense?
no modifier.
Okay, then you're just hoping to roll 1 to 5.
1 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Are you trying to kill me?
Well, I want to be Jesus. All right, I rolled a 65.
Okay. So you manage to, kind of stay out of Eusebius's grip, and yeah. So Eusebius on strike rank 5, that's when your attack goes through. What are you gonna do next?
Cry again,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point it might just make sense to do like a strength versus strength resistance roll.
hmm
Yeah, so instead of, because there isn't really a procedure for grappling. So what's your strength?
I have 13.
I have 12.
Okay, so you want to roll 55 or under, Sam?
Okay. Okay, I got a 43.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're tackling Ajax.
Yep.
Okay.
Tackling and pushing into the ground and stuff. But not like punching and stuff, just like, what are you, insane type thing? Like that.
Yeah. Restraining.
Yeah, restraining. Yeah. And I think Eusebius is saying, there could be, maybe there's a way for us to figure this out, but it doesn't involve you going and doing something like that.
Then help me. Like, we have to get him back. Androcles is going
Let's
either way. Would you let another person be lost and killed?
Oh man, is Eusebius this type of person? Like, okay, this is actually like suicidal for Ajax to do. So, but Eusebius also, yeah. I'm like wondering if Eusebius is gonna go off and tell Nikon.
Right.
But no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, Eusebius is like, we can talk about it. Just let's just talk about it. And is like on top of Ajax, like
Let's
holding him
just
down.
Yeah, I like let the rock roll out of my hands, and I'm like, Androcles said he'd find me, and when he does, we better know what we're doing.
Yeah, okay, so Eusebius says I mentioned Xenaeus because she, she can see, into the world of spirits, not to fucking bring her along. We're not gonna break her out. But we can go talk to her tonight and see if she can lend us her insight. And when he says we're not gonna break her out, he like really pushes Ajax, like we're not
Yeah,
doing that.
I like gesture to the rock that I already dropped, asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I'm
Oh, and
imagining you
Ajax is
both
1 year older
crying a
than
little bit
Eusebius.
because emotions are running high.
There's been a lot of crying. Yeah, that seems right. For Ajax,
Yeah, Eusebius, I think, is in that not crying mode that's freaky, where you're like, don't really feel much.
Ajax is crying. It's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and that's infuriating Eusebius. Like, Eusebius is like, stop fucking crying, we'll figure this out. Don't cry, don't cry.
are you gonna call me whatever the word is?
Yeah.
Like Ajax
Yeah,
says that.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Eusebius is so mad. Yeah, Eusebius is like, um, yeah, Eusebius just ignores that and is so angry and just like he like pushes himself off of you and just another shove and stands up and he's like brushing this like dirt and shit off of him and he like he like starts to reach out a hand and then like pulls it back. He's like, get up, like let's.
Yeah, I really pathetically lean on that walking stick. I make it look really egregious that
Yeah,
you didn't help me
yeah,
up. I
yeah.
mean, also it's probably actually hard, but It's a little
Yeah.
theatrical too. What are we gonna tell Androcles? So I'm on board. What are we gonna tell Androcles? He doesn't want to wait.
I'll
With
say
well,
it might be uh we're talking about agricultural time. It could be 2 weeks before
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go tonight. Cool.
yeah, I think Eusebius says we'll go. We'll go soon. Yeah, I think we'll see if we can. Hopefully, no one's watching her tonight, and just I'm in charge, not you.
Hang on a second.
I'm just trying to remember what I act like as a 16-year-old, and this
Uh-huh.
isn't what I acted like. But there were other 16-year-olds around me who acted like
Yeah.
that.
I'm also remembering that like I am a year older. I'm the
Yeah,
older
yeah, that's
cousin.
true.
Um,
Yeah, and my context for saying that is I just had you, shoved it down in the dirt.
yeah,
So
I'm small.
yeah,
Um, and injured, asshole. Uh,
yeah,
I'm I'm gonna be like she's she's your mom.
Hold
yeah,
on.
Yeah, you're in
Oh, and
charge.
you would say father.
Right,
There's not yeah.
right.
There's not a word.
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
right. We don't have that word. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I think Eusebius like kind of perks up a little bit at that and is like, okay, all right, all right, all right. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we have more conversation to do there.
No.
That felt good to me.
Want to go to Xenaeus?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you just have to wait until late at night. No one's around. They don't have a guard posted. This isn't really a militarized space in any way. So they just have her locked up in a shed, so she doesn't leave. Uh, and not particularly dismal shed either. Uh, but when you walk up, she probably spit. She can't she doesn't know who you are through the door, so she spits some oaths at you. It calls you
Yeah.
dogs. And he says you're here to you're here to laugh at my misfortune. Fuck you.
Right. Yeah, and Eusebius is like, wait, no, no, we're here to say hi. You know.
She's uh I'm sorry, Eusebius. I didn't know it was you. There's someone else with you.
Yeah, and Eusebius like introduces Ajax in a nice way, not in like this jerk way.
Thanks.
Jesus. Yeah.
I think she's a little excited, to meet more family. So she says, well, oh, you're, oh, so I didn't know I had another niece. It's a pleasure to meet you, Joyce. Um, yeah, I think she's overall pretty happy that you're both visiting. Mm.
I'm gonna kind of like give Eusebius a look like seeking permission to speak, but like
Yeah.
kind of in a cutting way. Like,
Yeah.
so
I
can
know
I
exactly.
answer? Yeah.
These looks are. It's all like there's so many flashbacks to my youth of. Well, no, of other people doing things that I saw when I was. I never did any of this.
We were all much too mature for any of this
Yes,
playing
I
at
was
this
smart and
age.
rich. Yeah, I had int 18 when I was a kid, and still do. Sorry, Jesus. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Obviously, yeah. You can. I don't know. Eusebius does some non-committal body language back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I say, I'm glad to meet you too. Um, Eusebius says you can help us find our friend.
the one she says, the one who disappears and who, the one whose disappearance I was blamed for, that one.
Yeah, but I knew I knew it didn't have anything to do with you. We both did.
She said, you don't want to fuck.
Fuckers.
Oh, motherfucker. Now I wonder if Eusebius is like, see, the thing is, it's heartbreaking to play it that way, but I feel like he would say it, but it's so heartbreaking
Yeah.
to I also feel bad as a player to shut down Ajax like that, but
No, it feels true.
yeah, I think that's what Eusebius says. But we're still in this scene, so it's not over.
Yeah. Ajax likes to cry. Ajax is fucking crying. Ajax is like, you two, like, they were gonna kill you, and you're gonna do what they say also. Like, I thought like you survived out there. Why couldn't Diocles? Why couldn't we?
She said I think she might call you kid, she's like, look, kid, it's not about um this isn't about me doing what what those degenerate women say. Uh this is about how dangerous that old man you met is, and what he'd do to you if he got his claws on you.
Do you know him?
No, not if I had ever met him face to face, I wouldn't be here today. But I mean, my people know. We avoid his place like the plague. He worships evil gods and practices foul magic.
Who is he? And why what does he want with my friend? My friend.
Yeah, oh my god, it's so real, so good.
I
I don't know
mean,
why, but you saying that to Mike, I sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
you saying that, I like glanced at my character sheet, I'm like, what can I do?
Oh, this is
Anyway,
so good.
Hit it with a rock.
It's an option.
yeah.
Always an
Oh
option.
my god.
Um, I mean, she says, what do you think? What do adults want out of any child? He's probably looking for an apprentice. It sounded like his last one didn't work out so well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tears. Diocles is gonna turn into that thing.
I mean, if he's lucky, if he's not, he'll turn into that old man.
Wow, so good, actually.
So good.
And this is where Eusebius cuts in. He's like, "What do what would he be taught?
I look, I have no one knows. He's that he's the keeper of secrets that are unspeakably foul. We just call him the beheader. We find corpses. Sometimes when someone is lost, we find their body with its head sawn off, or someone crushed and mauled beyond recognition. Uh, no, I don't know. No, no one does. Only him. I mean, I can. And she said, and this is one of the differences between the two cultures. She says, I can tell you where to find him because we know we know exactly where not to go in mountains.
Oh, yeah. This is what Ajax wants. This is great.
Temptation.
Yeah, actually, Eusebius is like, all right, where?
Oh,
Eusebius is kind of,
Ajax says
yeah.
please.
okay. Let's go ahead and make a map making roll, my friend. Shit.
Oh, it's such an impactful role.
And Sam, does Eusebius, is there a base chance for map making, or is it at 0?
I think it's a 0.
No, it's a
Right?
10.
It's a 10.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, you can roll too.
Okay.
And this is going to
This is-
determine, whether you know exactly where to go, and have, some warning, or if, it kind of find you first. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you
I have
know
a
who's-
nice 87, so
Okay.
no chance.
Under a 30. It's a 55.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So she gives you. It probably takes a while. She has to repeat, very carefully the steps. Um, but she is going to describe as best she can. Um, that you need to, from here, the easiest way is to go northeast. His hut is in a deep valley, so if you follow the river, you'll likely come upon it. She gives you some landmarks, um, and she says, Eusebius, here's something that might help. You remember that spell I taught you to see spirits.
Mm.
When you get there, the spirits are going to be different. Uh, all the murdered victims, uh, those touched by his chaotic magic. So that'll be, another sign that you're getting close is you're going to see this change in the spirit world too.
Okay. Yeah.
I imagine that's news to Ajax. I'm shocked that you know how to detect spirits. Cool.
Yeah, I guess I probably wouldn't have told you. Yeah.
And she says, you'll want to you'll want to wait uh, a couple of weeks until it begins to warm up too, because it's a pretty long journey, especially through the forest, and you'll want to. I think she kind of walks you through just like the absolute basics, like what you're gonna need. Uh, because you might have camped out like once, but you haven't really traveled in the woods, and so
Right.
to try to impart some of that too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've got 307 L's, and I think detect spirit costs 300. But I asked to.
Yeah, you could.
I think I don't want to be left out because I'm a
Oh,
Phoenix.
that's kind of cool. I kind of
So,
like this.
yeah. Let's see how long this is going to take.
Oh, I wonder if we can convince Diocles' dad to stay here, or if he's going to go die off in the woods somewhere.
I think he's had
He's
quite a
waiting.
bit to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rhymes. He rhymes with my ability out in the woods.
Oh God. Adults.
All right. Yes, she will teach you this. let's see how long this takes. Oh, geez. We'll get there.
Oh, rush.
Okay. So so it's 300, right?
Yeah.
So 2 hours a day for 3 weeks.
Mm.
So it's gonna be which makes sense. I mean, you're waiting for the season to turn to the terrain is navigable. So I mean, you're kind of looking to um you know yeah, it's gonna take time, and you'll also be it's probably coming with some instruction in spirit lore too, which might help contextualize what happened to you with the fertility rune too.
Yeah.
That I mean, nothing that might be immediately actionable, but she'll be able to give you some additional information about that.
Right.
And then, Sam, do you think Eusebius is like coming to these lessons too?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I think one thing that one of the treasure table rewards is a scroll which
Mhm.
can give skill increases. And one of the ways Ron used it was to actually have people be scrolls.
Ah,
Thinking that she will uh, that she'll try to impart because she doesn't want you to die.
yeah.
So
Fucking Eusebius is getting roped into this shit.
Can't
Fuck.
believe it.
Just socially, fucking. God damn it.
I really cannot believe it. In fact,
Just-
you asked for directions before I did.
I know. Well, he has unspeakable foul power, so. What
so
16-year-old is. I don't know.
go ahead and take 5% in survival from her instruction. She's
All
going
right.
to really, really try to give you the basics, so you die for a good reason and not out of pure stupidity.
Yes.
For both of us?
Okay.
Or
Just for
All right.
which I think unfortunately comes down to the fact that she does not, she's really worried about you saying this, that it makes sense. Um, yeah, and I think that's where we'll leave it. You both are kind of coming to this, every night, 1 or 2 a.m., coming and getting this, instruction through the door. And at a certain point, oh yeah, this matters. They're not going to keep her in there all the time. Like within a couple of days, she will be kind of stationed with one of the families, and her movements
Mhm.
are still going to be restricted. Um, but she is like eating with the family. People see her around town, right? She walks the streets. She has some mobility, so especially after that happens, it's much easier to kind of find time to
Right.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah.